Karen Huggard, Managing Director of Industry Relations with NATA. And today I'm joined by NATA's President and CEO, Tim Obitts. Welcome, Tim.
Good to be here.
So in this series, we'll be looking at all of those different steps that aviation businesses can take to not just reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, but also take sustainability measures that make economic sense for economic success. So we'll dive into that more in later episodes. But Tim, you serve in a leadership role in a lot of industry coalitions on sustainable aviation fuel. So if you could quickly tell us a few of the groups that you're working with and the state of sustainable aviation fuel availability right now.
Sure, happy to do so. The first one that NATA was part of forming is the Business Aviation Coalition for Sustainable Aviation Fuel, which consists of NATA, EBAA, NBAA, GAMA, and IBAC, and then that was the original formation, and we've included now HAI, the Helicopters Association, along with the Canadian Business Aviation Association, as part of that group of associations that are all working together to educate people and promulgate the message about the importance of sustainable aviation fuel and the adoption of its usage. I've had the pleasure of serving as its chair since the very beginning, and I've worked very hard with my alphabet soup brethren out there to propagate the message, and we've had a very successful job doing that, and we've also worked together as a group on Capitol Hill and with the administration to tell them the message about what aviation business is and what business aviation is doing to deal with sustainable aviation fuel and sustainability. So that's one item that's out there, and many of you have seen the guide that was produced on sustainable aviation fuel, and a trifold that we've produced that we have in 6 different languages to work with ICAO through IBAC. And so it's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun. And the second one is a newly formed nonprofit called the Council on Sustainable Aviation Fuels Accountability. And I serve as the chair of that as well. And that's made up of, once again, from our side, the business aviation side would be NATA, EBA, IBAC, GAMA, and NBAA. And then from the commercial aviation side, we have IATA and A4A. So this is the first time that commercial aviation and business aviation have come together on a single issue of sustainable aviation fuel. And the mission of that COSAFA is to make sure that we have a free industry standard out there that measures from feedstock to into-plane and book and claim on every part of the fragment measure so that we can properly account for the carbon reduction and the greenhouse gas emission reduction. And so we're working very hard on that, and it's pretty cool to be part of something and leading something that is really changing the industry as a whole. As far as sustainable aviation fuel, we've worked on the business aviation side and aviation business side. We've created more demand than there is supply. So I've been working, and NATA has been working very hard with fuel producers and with those would-be fuel producers to produce sustainable aviation fuel so that we can have more of a supply and meet the demand that's been created. And then obviously working on the government affairs side, both on Capitol Hill and with states, dealing with issues like the low carbon fuel standards that are similar to California, as well as other measures to entice the production and consumption of sustainable aviation fuel.
That's great. Well, Tim, we sure appreciate your thought leadership on this issue, and I thank you for all the things you're doing to bring the industry together in a unified force to really change the way we think about sustainability and move forward, especially with sustainable aviation fuel, which can make such a difference. We'll be diving into these topics I know you will, in more detail, talking to fuel suppliers and companies about what they offer and how they can work with FBOs and other aviation businesses to meet these 25% greenhouse gas emission goals that we've been tasked with. We'll also be talking about other ways that make economic sense, like solar panels and alternative fuel and electrification. So we'll really be getting into the details for our members in future episodes. So thanks so much for today and explaining these things to us.
Pleasure being here. Thank you.